So you use AI, right? Pretty much everyone is at this point. But here's a question. Are you really getting the most out of it? In just the next few minutes, we're going to look at how you can go from being a casual AI user to a savvy AI navigator, someone who's really in the driver's seat.
Okay, let's just dive right into the biggest question everybody has. Is it actually worth it to pay for AI? I mean, what's the real difference? What are you really getting for your money? And when is the free version honestly good enough?
And that brings us to our first stop, the price of power. Because to pick the right tool, you've got to understand what you're actually paying for, and maybe more importantly, what the hidden cost of free really is.
Now, at first glance, this trade-off seems pretty straightforward, right? Free gets you access, paid gets you priority access to the best stuff. Simple. But here's the catch with the free tier that you really need to know about. If you use it a lot, you can get silently downgraded to a weaker model with no heads up at all. So the real difference isn't just power, it's consistency.
This is the classic freemium model at play. You ever notice how a free tool seems absolutely brilliant when you first start using it, and then after a while it just feels kind of dumber? Yeah, that's not in your head. You get a little taste to the premium version, but once you hit a certain limit, poof, you get quietly shifted to a less capable model. The whole point is to make you feel that drop-off so you'll think about upgrading.
So when is it time to actually pull out your wallet? Well, there are a few big signals. I mean, the obvious ones are when the free version feels painfully slow or you need cool features like making images. But the real clincher is accuracy. If your work depends on getting the most precise answer possible, say for complex calculations or critical analysis, that's when an upgrade stops being a luxury and starts becoming a necessity.
Okay, but look, having the best tool is only half the equation. To really be a navigator, you need the right mindset. This is about shifting your thinking from just using AI to actually collaborating with it, like a co-pilot.
And this little matrix here, this is your mental map for how to do that. It all comes down to two things. How good are you at the task, and how good is the AI? If you're both experts, great. That's your co-pilot sweet spot. But the really tricky zone is when you're a novice, but the AI is good. You can delegate, sure, but you have to be careful. You still need to know enough to spot when the AI is making a mistake. And if neither of you knows what you're doing, simple, find a human expert.
So how do you actually build that co-pilot skill? Well, think of it like a really simple three-step training plan. First, just use it a lot. The more you use it, the more familiar you'll get. And as you do that, you'll naturally start to learn its limits, what it's great at and what it's not so great at. Which brings you to the most important step of all, asking better questions. Because with AI, a brilliant answer always starts with a brilliant question.
Okay, our final section, and this one is absolutely critical. We're talking about your data. A true navigator knows the rules of the road, and that means knowing how to control your information, so you can use these tools safely and responsibly.
Now, when it comes to privacy, you have to realize we're talking about two completely different worlds, personal use and company use. For personal stuff, the risk is pretty low. Sharing your search history to get better recommendations, it's a personal choice. But using AI with your company's data, that is a whole other ballgame. The risk of leaking sensitive, confidential info is huge, and the advice here is crystal clear. You have to be extremely cautious.
So what's one thing you can do, like right now? Here is a dead simple but super powerful tip for all you ChatGPT users. Just go into your settings, find data controls, and turn off the little toggle that says Improve the model for everyone. That one click stops your chats from being used to train future AI models. It's a tiny step that gives you back a massive amount of control.
I want to leave you with this one quote, because it really puts all of this into perspective. Just let this sink in for a second. The AI you use today is the dumbest it will ever be. Just think about that. These tools are on an exponential curve, and they're only getting smarter from here.
So there you go. You know how to choose the right tool, how to think like a co-pilot, and how to protect your data. You've made the leap from just being a passenger to actually being the navigator. So the only question left is, where are you going to go first?